Here are the 3 kicks every martial artist and MMA fighter knows. 1. Front kick. 2. Roundhouse kick. 3. Side kick. Now that you know what they are, I'm going to briefly explain each kick's uses defensively and offensively, starting with the front kick. Stretching is recommended before kicking workout to prevent injuries. I'll place a link in the description for a basic martial arts stretching sequence to follow if you don't already have one. Front kick. From a standard fighting stance with the left leg forward, the defensive aspect of a standing front kick or a forward leg front kick is the speed in which it is deployed, making it less detectable by an opponent. It is comparable to a jab when using hand strikes, which will be covered in a future video. For now, in a defensive posture with the rear leg planted, a front kick can be used to stand your ground against an assault. If you stick around until the end of this video, I'll show you how to use a standing front kick to your advantage and how it can effectively turn the tables on a would-be attacker. A reverse front kick or rear leg front kick is primarily used offensively to close the distance and is much more powerful than its defensive counterpart. There are 2 main types of foot positions used when deploying the front kick. The first one is a snap kick, where the top of the foot, ankle, or shin is striking at a target. The second type is a thrust kick, where the bottom of the foot behind the toes on the pad of the foot, or even the heel, is used to strike at a target. If you can imagine someone being kicked in the groin, that would be what I'm calling a front snap kick. And if you've ever watched an MMA bout where someone gets kicked in the face with a front kick while both people are standing, that would be an example of a front thrust kick. Roundhouse kick. In the same vein as the front kick, a roundhouse kick with the front leg is more defensive in nature. Being quick and less detectable, it offers a high percentage of effectiveness when used correctly. It can provide much needed space and time to set up additional attacks while also making an opponent think twice before they step into range, so it is also a great mentally defensive kick. As with all of the kicks I am discussing in this video, there are different levels that can be used to defend oneself. A quick standing roundhouse to the side of a shin, knee, thigh, ribs, or even head, if one has the flexibility, can bewilder an attacker, especially if they don't know the same kind of defense. Offensively, these same kicks can be used with the back leg to close the distance and attack with quite a bit more momentum, inflicting damage beyond what the front leg kick would produce. The downfall with the reverse or back leg roundhouse kick is that it is more predictable because it is slower to reach the intended target. Again, if you stay tuned in, I'll show you how to close the gap on this issue once I discuss each kick by itself. And while I'm thinking about it, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe if you'd like to receive notices on my future videos. Side kicks. Moving on to the standing side kick, I probably don't need to repeat myself here if you've watched the beginning of this video, but the front foot side kick is going to be faster to deploy, making it an excellent defensive weapon in your arsenal. However, unlike the front kick and roundhouse kick, the standing side kick can generate quite a bit of power, making it an offensive tool as well. Targeting the face in this situation would require quite a bit of flexibility, but the opponent's leg, stomach, or chest would be prime targets for a defensive side kick. And if they happen to be charging for a takedown, well, their head would also be in range. As far as a reverse or back leg side kick goes, it is really slow in comparison to the reverse front kick and roundhouse kick, so there are 2 things to consider. 1, changing up the timing of the thrust of the kick, and 2, adding a backspin to speed up the deployment, which can also confuse the opponent about where the kick originates. The former option may take away some of the power by stopping the momentum, but it makes up for this by increasing the odds of successfully getting through their defense. The latter actually increases the velocity and power of the side kick, but it may lose out a little on the effective targeting, which is why practice is essential for all of the aforementioned kicks discussed in this video. As I said earlier, I'm going to discuss how defensive kicks can set you up for an offensive attack to turn the tables on an attacker, and this is done by using these techniques in combination. For instance, if a standing front kick makes your opponent step back to avoid being hit, immediately following up with a reverse front kick can put you in a winning position. And it doesn't have to be the same type of kick, nor does it have to change from a front leg to a back leg kick. If an opponent comes at you in rapid succession, a standing front snap kick followed by a standing roundhouse or sidekick can keep the momentum to your advantage. It doesn't have to end with 2 kicks either. If you build up a string of kicks in combination, you may very well end the fight before too long, which would be nice because adrenaline only lasts 30 seconds to a minute before you crash. Unless, of course, if you train regularly. In my opinion, unless it is a fight for life or death, it is best not to face an enemy, especially if you haven't been training regularly. Also, because you don't know if they possess a weapon or have a group of friends nearby to reduce your odds of walking away intact. In conclusion, find a way to train every day on each of these kicks, because it will come out in the street exactly how it comes out in practice. So, be prepared and not scared. Thank you for watching.